The orchids are a diverse and widespread family of flowering plants, with blooms that are often colorful and fragrant. Some types of orchids. Blatilla striata orchids. Blatilla striata is the most common form found in the nursery trade and is often labeled simply as hardy orchid or Chinese ground orchid, and is quite inexpensive. This beautiful and hardy deciduous orchid has the distinction of being one of the first orchids in cultivation in England dating from around 1794. Native to Japan, Korea, Myanmar, and China. Unlike most tropical epiphytic orchids, this plant comes from somewhat temperate zones and grows in soil rather than on trees and require no extraordinary care to grow successfully. They prefer well-drained, evenly moist soils that are high in organic material and that never dry out nor remain sodden. Cymbidium orchids. Cymbidium, known as boat orchids. Native of tropical and subtropical Asia covering North India, China, Japan, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Borneo Islands and North Australia. Usually growing in cooler climates at high elevation. Dendrobium orchids. The flowers are native to Southeast Asia, Japan, Taiwan, Indonesia, China, Philippines and Australia. Their name derives from the Greek word kim, meaning boat, and refers to the bloom's hollowed lips. Anthurium orchids. The anthurium is also known as painted tongue, flamingo flower or tail flower. The anthurium originates from the rainforests of Colombia. One of the world's longest blooming plant. Native to tropical environments. These plants are easy to care for and are popular for their bright flowers, which come in a variety of colors: red, pink and orange. Each anthurium flower spike can last up to 8 weeks. Phalaenopsis orchids. This plant species originates from Southeast Asia, the Philippines and Australia. In the wild, Phalaenopsis particularly grows in trees without drawing nutrients from the tree. The flowers of a Phalaenopsis orchid usually bloom for several months, and the plant can be pollinated again during this period. It can take anywhere from 9 to 14 months for an orchid to complete a life cycle. If it does not die, it can typically rebloom once every 8 to 12 months. Cattleya orchids. Cattleyas originate from Central and South America. The English orchid collector William Cattleya gave his name to the Cattleya orchids. The Cattleya is the national flower of a number of South American countries, including Colombia. The plants are epiphytes. In the wild they grow on trees. With reasonable care, they can be grown anywhere in the world. Vanda orchids. The Vanda is an orchid which is widespread in nature, from India and Sri Lanka to northern Australia. The Vanda grows and blooms on trees. The roots hang loose in the air or are wrapped around the tree. The Vanda was discovered in 1613 by Alvin Smedo, who called it Tiauhua, or air plant. Paphiopedilum orchids. The botanical species of Paphiopedilum are found in the jungles of the Far East and Indonesia. They mainly grow in the layer of humus